Good evening and welcome to another episode of BNR and another episode of the Red Zone. And it was dark, it was gloomy, it was cold, and it was snowing. And he thought, Liverpool, please give us something routine. We'll take a 1-0, we'll take a boring 2-0, whatever it is, just don't give us any heart attacks. And it was everything but routine today. Liverpool gave us some heart attacks. Fulham broke our hearts a few times, but as is the case with many times in Liverpool, that they rescue us from the jaws of defeat. I said there was nothing routine about the game today. We've got a bit of a routine now on Sunday evenings. You see the same old four faces on the Sunday evenings. Vataro or whatever his name is sipping away with. That's nice form on that coffee, by the way. That is nice form. As a barista myself, I know when it's a nice coffee, but that does look.
You'll remain a barista all your life if you're not careful. Hurry up with the show. Hurry up. Come on.
You know what? This guy, he has a lack of respect, Sarib and Chin. Don't you think? You know, when if you come late, you put your head down, you say sorry, and you get on with it. But you know, with him, he comes on 10 minutes late with an attitude. With an attitude.
There's only one guy that can sort him out, and that's me. Just let him enjoy his coffee for 10 minutes and I'll sort him out. Don't
So you're gonna say someone else, Sarib? Anyway, listen,
Avi,
boys.
I'll stay with you, Avi. I was going to come to you anyway.
Yeah.
You had a bit of a leak in the kitchen. But when Liverpool put that fourth goal in the back of the net, I'm sure there was a few floorboards missing as well.
I made it worse. Yeah, I made it worse. What a game! What a game! For me, obviously, for you guys, it was a 2 p.m. kickoff. For me, it was a 6 a.m. kickoff. But oh boy, I've got to watch my language. My mum's watching today, so what a game! What a game! But to be honest, we'll go into it obviously. But when it was 3-2 to Fulham, I didn't think we were going to lose the game. I always thought we were going to bring it back to 3-3. But to win it, too many to talk about. Too many players to mention as well. So we'll go into it. But no, all in all, everything's good. I heard, the onus. I'll bring the onus back on you, Asim. I heard that you're trying to be prized away from the channel. Heard that you've got an offer on the table as well from various channels and shows. Not Sky Sports yet, but yeah, I heard you've got a few invitations. I heard you had a bit of an invitation as well, but we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. As long as your loyalty lies. You've made
a comment. I must respond. I think I've got the right. When you do good work is highlighted, isn't it? And recognized. And that's all it is, isn't it? You're probably looking into your DMs and no one's replying, asking you to come in there. So, look, maybe people have got their own clown. So we've got our clown. I'm only joking. Tayyab asks who's tapping Asim up. Tayyab, I'm always getting tapped up, but Avi says, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to my own channel, but there's nothing wrong with going on other people's channels and networking and talking about our beloved football club. But Sarib, someone mentioned, I think, Avi, you're good with names. I'm not gonna attempt this one. I'm sorry. Nukubeko.
No. Hey, you don't pronounce the end. Kubeko Mathembu, Mentality Monsters, and that's right as well. Kubeko Mathembu. He's one of my friends from Cape Town, so big up to Kubeko.
Nice.
First time he's joined by the channel, so give him Tarian. First time.
Thank you very much. How do you pronounce the first name? Kubeko. Sarib, you got a bit of a theme going on. Kubeko says mentality monsters. Are you starting to believe, judging by what I'm seeing on your Twitter feed all week? Are you becoming a believer?
You know what? I'm so controlled all the time, but every time I watch us play and we do madness like this, it just sucks me back in and I get invested. It happened with the Caicedo and he bit me in the ass. I don't know, man. I want to believe we're flying up the league as well.
What were you saying about Wataru, by the way? Yeah, you little kid, boy.
No, what do you mean?
Yeah. Don't worry, I've got clips. I've got clips of I've got clips of two out of the four. I got clips. 2 out of the 4 people, not me, because my affiliation with the Japanese people and Japan itself. But 2 out of our 4 wrote this player off. And I'll tell you one thing now. I'll tell you one thing now before we go into it. It wasn't me, or it wasn't the guy next to me here either. So make your own minds up.
I was the one that was saying give Wataru Endo a chance. I was the one in the team.
TK.
TikTok Banasa, right? And now he's saying, no, I didn't say anything about Wataru. Give me a rest. Chupkan.
Avi, you didn't.
What's in that
You
coffee,
didn't
Abby?
start.
What's in that coffee?
I was the one that was telling these lads, give him a chance.
Little bit of a dopamine fix today. Little bit of a dopamine fix.
I was the one that saying, give him a chance. If you don't give him a chance, you're never going to see consistent games. And now he's starting to get a bit more games. He's starting to play well. He plays well in the Europa League. And today, come on, 2 minutes, bangs are going.
Gene, I must ask you how you are. Gene obviously was at the game as well today. Gene, there was a lot of screamers but there was a lot of screaming as well, if you know what I mean. But Gene, this was your last game before you go on holiday. Yeah, Avi, he's going on holiday again. Well, I hope you're taking your laptop. He always promises to take his laptop on holiday.
There's no way he's picking up any Wi-Fi.
There's
no way he's picking up. There's no way he's picking up
weeks.
any Wi-Fi in Pakistan. There's no way he's picking up any Wi-Fi.
Listen to me. Listen.
Avi, BNR are not having a show for 3 weeks. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, come on. Are you trying to say you can't do a show without me, you three? Come on, Avi, man. You can do a show without me, man. I'm not that important.
No, we really
exactly. So you can do it anyway. But on a serious note, Asim, what a game, man! You go to a game like that, and you witness a 4-3. So you witness 2 goals in the last five minutes to win the tie. You can't ask for any more. It was an unbelievable game. There was 4 unbelievable goals scored by people that we don't really expect to score the goals. You're unsung heroes in this type of game. Whether players like Trent and Endo. They're not ones who score your goals. Our front three didn't play that well, I thought. But when you've got a team like this, and it's like the guy mentioned, this is mentality monsters, and it's a game that it's a marker. It puts a marker down and everything, and it just goes to show with what a difference the last 5 minutes can make in 2 ties. Man City drew their game 3-3. Yeah. We win the game 4-3. We could be 4 behind, but we were 1 ahead of them now. So it's just it's fine margins, and that's what it is. But I've got to give Endo a lot of credit today, man. Number one, he came on and he sort of, he gave us the impetus, and then to score a goal like that in front of the Kop, I was over the moon for him more than anything, I think.
Yeah, no, I think he deserved it. He deserved it. And sometimes I think we'll come to Endo later on, Sarib, but I think since Gene touched on, actually, no, we'll come back to him later on. I think he deserves a bit of a segment of his own. But as ever, the structure of the show is to touch on the lineup. Sarib, were you happy with it? Were you surprised with Gravenberch starting over Curtis? Matip is in the informed man with Sheffield United as well to consider in midweek. Were you happy with it? Were you surprised by it, or you thought, what, it sort of picks itself today?
I was a bit surprised because Gravenberch he started a midweek game, and I thought that would be an indication on the weekend that Curtis Jones will go into that left centre midfield role. And I know you put a tweet out asking people for your lineups, and I did give you my lineup, and Curtis Jones was in the team because I thought Gravenberch wouldn't play. So yeah, apart from that, I think everyone was self-explanatory. Keller has no choice. The back 4, none of them played in the week. Trent, I know he played for a bit.
Yeah.
The front 3, I don't think we have much choice at the moment. It's Nunes or Gakpo. Jota's not available. Otherwise, I think he would have started today. Oh no, he would have started the Europa League game, and Diaz would have started today. But yeah, I would have played Gakpo because I think when players are informed, you need to keep them in form and put him in the team.
Instead of.
Oh, Luis Diaz has not been great at all as well for me personally this season as well. He's not offered a lot, and I think Cody Gakpo every time he's been in the team has taken his chance. But it kind of made sense to me that Gakpo played the 90 and then Diaz came off, so it gave me an indication that Diaz was going to start. But apart from that, everything was fine.
Gene, Mike says, I felt that we needed Jones today to keep the ball ticking. I think Liverpool, whenever you have Gravenberch over Curtis Jones, we're probably telling the team that we're coming to put you to the sword today. And I thought Liverpool, they took the game to Fulham, but obviously Fulham carried the threat. We obviously facilitated them with our mistakes as well, which will obviously probably come to as well, I'm sure. But hindsight is always a great thing. But did you want Curtis Jones to be in the team today just to keep things ticking over, as Mike says?
To be fair, I wanted Gravenberch to start this game. Just because I felt as though, like you mentioned it, I thought we were going to have a lot more possession of the ball. He's able to break between the lines and go past the player. And I think we needed that today, even more so with Trent and playing inverted. I thought we'd have a lot more of the possession, and I thought we did actually started the game pretty well. We got the goal, and we were coming along in terms of that we had a few efforts, but our issues this season, Asim, is mistakes. when you make mistakes, you get punished, and especially in the Premier League. And then yes, you know, when you've there's 2 goals to concede like that, I thought we could have done better, a lot better for both the goals that we conceded today. And then yeah, it's easy to say, you know, we can, you know, bring in Jones. He would have solidified us, kept the ball sort of ticking. But mistakes, as like you mentioned, in hindsight, yes, it maybe makes sense. But to say I wanted him to start the game, no, I actually wanted Gravenberch to start, and I was happy. I was actually happy with the formation. I was happy with who started, and I was happy with our starting 11. And I thought we started well, but it just didn't. We got the goal, but again, we have to just, you know, to take away these mistakes, because they're costing us. And one day they're going to cost us 3 points, or they're going to cost us 2 points, and it's not good enough when you're going for a title.
Avi, title talk. But were you happy with the lineup? You're a big Curtis Jones fan, as you reminded me earlier this week on Twitter. But look, Gravenberch has been playing well. He's never let us down. He's actually carried the ball. He's unbelievable on the half turn. He takes a player on, and he's brave in tight spaces as well. But do you think putting Gravenberch in today was a bit too much? And when you have to be a bit boring, then Curtis Jones is your man. And that's saying it with the utmost respect for Curtis Jones.
No, I think it just shows that we've got good options now, great options now, you could say. I was one of those that I thought Gravenberch deserved his place in the team. Asim, I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, Szoboszlai looks a little bit laggy. Just doesn't look like his early season form. But that's expected. You know, he's still finding his feet. He's going to have to time his sort of conditioning when he's playing on the pitch for 90 minutes plus. You know, Klopp has put him through the trenches, you know, against Spurs and Newcastle come to mind. I thought Gravenberch, early on he was looking very good. You know, first half, he was actually one of my top performers. You know, he glides past a player. He glided past last week past Rodri twice, as if, you know, who's Rodri. So, you know, that consistency will come in Gravenberch's play as well, where he's a complete 90-minute player. At the moment, you know, after 60, he's starting to tire. He's starting to, you know, come off, and it's probably the lack of playing time from last season at Bayern Munich, obviously finding his rhythm as well at Liverpool. And obviously there'll be a certain plan, individual plan for him of how Klopp and Pep Linders and co want him to be implemented in this team. But I thought the lineup was fine. Matip, totally fine with that. I thought Konate had pulled up on Thursday, but I think it was just playing time from Klopp. I did suggest that I wanted Gomez on the right and Trent as a 6 at the beginning, but we always knew, you know, in hindsight, Jurgen was never going to go with that.
We saw that later on, Avi.
And front three were fine for me. I get what Sarib is saying. Diaz at the moment, he did get his goal against Thursday. He just needs to be involved more. And sometimes I feel that we don't give him the ball enough on that left-hand side. I mean, so Tsimikas had more of the ball today than Diaz did. 2 chances where Salah should have crossed for Diaz. He would have had 2 goals today. But unfortunately, Salah, you know, sometimes he has that knack about him where he just wants to take and everything. And he shot with his right.
Ask him a question to you. You know, obviously, look, we've been playing Matip now regularly for a few games now, and obviously, look, this is a big issue that we've always known, that when Matip plays 2 or 3 games a week, he tends to pick up an injury. And I had a conversation with Jake, and I know you had a conversation with him earlier as well, because he gave me a lot of crap, saying why did we start Matip when, you know, Konate was fit? We know Matip, you know, he can't play 3 games a week. Was that a risk? Was there a risk worth taking? Obviously, you look back now and you think no. But would you have gone with Konate knowing that, you know, he is sort of injury prone?
Well, look, he rested on Thursday night, didn't he?
Yeah.
He rested.
Konate and Kwanzaa.
Fair play.
On thingy. So, you know what? You mentioned Jake, and look, we don't reveal our secret audio WhatsApps. So, you know what? I'll admit it. I said it to him. Judging by Matip's injury record, I said it today that it was a matter of time.
I mean, I think it's a bonus that we've had this much in from him. But like the good thing is we've got Konate who can come in, who has his own injury issues. Gomez looks as if he can play. He's back to sort of not his best, but we can depend on him again. That we couldn't do it last season, you know. So we can depend on Joe, and obviously Kwanzaa. We don't want Kwanzaa starting week in, week out in the league. We don't even want him to start league games yet. Yeah. You know, that his time will come. But at the moment, you know,
so you jinxed it. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I have a question for you here. And again, you know, with all due respect, with this injury, Matip's injury, obviously no one wished for him to get injured. But now the manager has said there's no scan, obviously, until for the next couple of days. But he goes, he's not a short one. So if he's out for a month or two, in a strange way, is it a blessing in disguise? Why I say that is it's happened now and not the end of the transfer window. I know we've got Kwanzaa. I know we've got Gomez who can play centre back as well. But we already wanted a left-sided centre-back in the summer and we didn't get one. And now with Matip out, with the muscular injuries that Kanate picks up, he randomly just disappears from training and doesn't play for a couple of weeks, maybe a month's time. And let's be honest, Kanate will get injured again once or twice in the next 6 months. He will do. Same with Gomez. The only reliable guy is probably, Van Dijk, and we can't rely on Kwanzaa as brilliant as he's been. Because he's young. We saw exactly what happened with Bajcetic last season. But what my question to you is, do you see Liverpool dipping into the market now?
Not for a centre back now. I really don't. I don't think we will go in for a centre back.
So we're not going for anyone then?
No, I think so.
We're going for the midfielder.
I think what we've done in the past is we always want Klopp's number one target. Konate was a number one target in 2021, but we couldn't get him in January. But we did a pre-agreement with Leipzig in March. Van Dijk we waited for when we could have got a Koulibaly in that summer of 2017. Right, he came in January. We will wait. I don't think that the defender that we want in January is going to be available in January. I don't know who that is. A few names last year before us, Tatibo from he plays in France, or who's the other one that we like? Inacio, Antonio Silva. I don't know. I think we will go with what we have, which is Konate, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kwanzaa as the fourth, and then Matip.
But look, Avi.
Let's speculate, yeah? Let's speculate, Avi. Matip's out for...
Say 3-4 months. I still don't think we'll dip in the market for a centre-back.
Wow. No, but Liverpool do that, though. How many times have we done in the transfer market? We've done it literally last January. We had injuries to Jota, Diaz had a setback, and Cody Gakpo would not be a Liverpool player.
No. Cody Gakpo was always going to be a Liverpool player because of the price. It was a great price.
Even so, that was not going to be a January signing. We signed him in January because of the injuries to Diaz and Jota.
Because United had come knocking.
Okay, so exactly. We've done this with Diaz as well. When teams went in for him, that was one of our number one targets. We pushed early. So you're telling me Liverpool are not in for centre back? I think we are. And if Matip's injury is quite long, we can bring summer plans forward, and we've done it before. We've done it in the last 2 January transfer windows already. So why can't we do it again? And we're in need of one as well because, like you said, Konate is injury prone, Matip's injury prone, Gomez is injury prone.
Right now, you got Van Dijk, Konate who's fit, Gomez who's staying fit, and you got Kwanzaa. He will stick with those 4, in my opinion. Do we need one? Yes, we need to future planning anyway, like Asim's favorite word. We need to get a centre back in. I'm just saying, I don't think the centre back that we want is going to be available in January. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, bro, everyone has a price, I'll be honest.
There's a centre back. There's a throwback.
There's a striker.
Yeah, I remember.
Depending on what it is, it could be a loan signing. It could be a loan signing, or it could be a stopgap.
They don't end well, man, for us.
They don't end well. But maybe I think we're going to have that discussion many times, especially with January approaching us. But let's go to the first meaningful action of the game, Cheen. And I thought it was a few disruptions, especially with Leno's injury as well. Was it a head injury? I guess so, because he wore a headband, didn't he? But it looked like
it wasn't a knee injury, that was it. It makes sense, doesn't it?
The reason I asked was because he was on the floor for ages. And it felt like about 15-20 minutes. But I thought
9 minutes added on after the first half.
It was something like that. Yeah. But whatever it is, Cheen, the first meaningful action was Trent with that free kick. And I thought, you know what? When I was at the other end, but I saw the angle, the best I could. And I thought, you know what? He can't go over the wall here. He might do something like what Zidane did against England, going across the keeper, wrong footing him. And I thought Trent's got that skill. But obviously, he had better thoughts, and who am I to question Trent's intentions? But what a free kick, the precision. And the only bad thing about it is it goes down as a Leno on goal. But what a strike.
Oh, no, that's an unbelievable strike. I think to be able to get that ball, bring it down from the wrong side as well, and to score a goal from that angle, was, it was amazing. And I was shocked. I was pretty, behind it. And to give that goes an own goal, man, it's just disservice to football, that is, Asim. How can a ball hit that sweetly, come off the bar, hit Leno and goes in? That should go down as a flipping Trent goal. I'm actually really peed off because I didn't think from where I was sat, I didn't think that, couldn't tell that it hit Leno.
Am I correct?
When
Am I
obviously after
correct
the
in
game,
saying? Am I correct in saying, sorry to interrupt you, because it seems as if everyone's interrupting me today, so I'm going to interrupt as well. Am I right in saying that if the ball hits the post and the bar, it's still as a shot off target? It's not on target.
Yeah, post and bars off target.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's how stupid.
Well, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
so
not. It's not on target though, is it, Avi? If it hits the post.
Yeah.
If it goes in off the post, then it's on target, isn't it? Because it's a goal.
Because it's hit the target, Avi. It doesn't work.
The post and the bar should be the target. That should be classified as a target.
No, the target is the net. The target is the net.
The target is the net, man. Yeah,
The post is just the frame to hold it up.
This guy went to private school, guys.
I dropped out after it.
Avi, see that photo frame behind you, yeah? Is the bit around it a part of the picture? Or is that just the frame?
Oh, I like
that's part of the picture. The frame is part of the picture.
No, it's not.
If you put an ugly frame on it, it's an ugly picture. If you put a nice frame, it's a nice
the
picture.
frame is the frame, Avi.
The frame won't change how the picture is, will it? It won't change it. The picture's
I think and that's why Trent's goal's not given, because it came off in on the bar. So then why are we complaining then?
No, technically
No. Why are we complaining then? Because it came off the bar. It wasn't going to go in. It wasn't going to go in.
We said it's a shame.
I said it's a shame, man. I didn't say bloody hell. I didn't say why you give it. Like, I'm not saying VAR check it, man. Come on.
We won't be asking for a replay of the free kick. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Sorry.
Well, Avi, whilst Cheen gets rid of his cough, you're a guy who likes an investment or two. Have you checked the share price of Adidas recently? Since Trent's been getting those Predators, I'm sure they've rocketed it.
Signed up with the
Yeah.
Adidas too. Unfortunately, Adidas is not on the US stock exchange, but I'm sure.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
I'm sure they've got a good, healthy price on their stock exchange in Germany or whatever.
But Avi, a question on Trent. I saw, a different side to him. And I'm not just saying that because he carried and he rallied the troops as well, rallied the fans on a few occasions as well throughout the 90 minutes. But did you see, I felt that this was the moment where he really showed his vice captaincy today. He took the responsibility and he drove the team, whether he was a right back, whether he was inverting, whether he was, high and wide and overlapping and pressing and instigating. He set the tempo, especially in the second half when we were chasing the game. And I thought, you know what? This is the reason why he was given the vice captaincy, because he's bringing a different side out to Trent.
Asim, he's entering that age, isn't he? 24, 25 now. He's entering that age where he's going to take games by the scruff of the neck. And he's done it before. I remember a game against Villa, COVID games, you could call it. There was no fans in the stadium. We won that game 2-1 and he scored the winner. But that game was the game where he was everywhere. He wasn't that right back. His heat map, as you call it, he was everywhere in that game and he scored the winner and it was 2-1 to us. Today, he was doing it again. And he's a scouser as well. You got to remember that. It means a lot to him, when they're down, when they're looking for someone for inspiration. He's the one that delivered it. He delivered it last week against City. He knew that, I've got to do something for this team. You look at Marcus Rashford right now, Man United. You looked at him yesterday. He was getting skipped past. He's a Manchester local lad. He should be fighting for that United shirt, regardless who the manager is, what his role is in the team. He just let players like Gordon bypass him. And Trent, polar opposite.
Carragher called him the new Martial.
Yeah, polar opposite of Trent today, where he's fighting for everything. He's that Steven Gerrard-esque sort of performance, and we saw it today. He was marauding. He was everywhere, and he's got his just deserves at the end. With a beautiful winner, which we'll come to. But no. I think it was the best decision that Klopp made. Van Dijk probably got another, if he looks after his body, 2-3 years at the top, maybe 2 years at the top. This guy is in line, at 27, he'll be reaching that age where it's going to be peak Trent for the next sort of 3-4 years.
And Asim, about one thing about Trent that I loved more than anything, there was a few instances in the game where he picked up the ball and ran. He actually went past a couple of players in that, and that this is we've not really seen Trent do that, especially in the middle of the park. He's got the confidence to, pick up the ball and say, I'm going to go. And he's good enough to do that. So, it's an extra facet to his game that hopefully we're going to see a lot more of.
And he drives with the ball quick as well. Sorry, sir. He drives with the ball quick. You know, he gets away from you. As soon as he looks a little dribble, 10, 15 yards, he will just go past you, like literally just like drive past you. And that's what it is sometimes.
But Avi, is this the reason why if you wanted him in your number 6, and I'll come to you, Sarib, as well, but because Avi had him in his predicted team or his chosen team, what he'd pick in a couple of days ago, you had him at 6. Does he have that license to do that? The reason why I've always wanted him at right back is because he can come conventional right back. He can go high and wide. He can come as a third centre back. He can come into right-sided midfield roles when Szoboszlai is in the 10 position. And then he creates that space. So that dynamic on the right-hand side with Salah and Szoboszlai is there. But if he's going to play a lone 6, he's a bit, sort of, on the strings, if you like, just to make sure he's the first line of defense and making sure we win those, the balls on the halfway line to sustain attacks. He doesn't have the freedom if he plays lone 6. Javi?
Oh, is that for me?
Sarib? Yeah.
So
You had him
I had him as a lone 6 as a starter. When we are chasing a game, he will leave that position occupied. He will leave gaps in that space. That's why Fulham were getting some joy until Hendo came on, and he provided a little bit of solidity in that midfield. But even when Endo came on, you expected him to start in the 6. He wasn't starting in the 6. He was still a little bit forward than the 6. But his goal actually came on the edge of the box. We expect a Trent to be. But Endo takes that finish. So I think Asim, what I want is.
But at that time, they went 5 at the back, though.
Fulham did, and they made the changes with I think Bobby Reed, that DeRover Reed came on, and I think Caney came on as well, just to shore up that midfield area. But ideally I want Trent to be there from the start, Asim, and then Gomez on the right, because I would love to see what we can do there. Because then maybe McAllister and Trent can switch throughout the game, in the first 30 or first half. Or Szoboszlai can start in a 6, alongside a Trent, and then you enable McAllister to occupy that little space with the 10 and the 8 sort of play. I would like to see half spaces and play in between there, between those lines. Trent coming as a 6, it didn't sort of work until Endo came on. That's where he had the license to roam.
So I have a question, because we're on that topic of Trent moving into the midfield. Would you permanently move him to midfield and then go into the market for a right back?
No, because I believe we've got Conor Bradley, who will be a good right back for Liverpool.
You think Conor Bradley will be good enough to be Liverpool's starting right back for the next? So you think Trent will eventually?
I think with another year, I don't think we need I don't think we need to look for another right back.
It's a good shout, to be fair.
Do you think Conor Bradley is good enough to play for Liverpool right back?
I do.
Already?
You can mark this as well. Not already. He needs a few games. I think maybe next season, yeah.
So then you'd move Trent into midfield permanently.
If that's what Klopp wants to do, yes.
8 or 6.
I don't think Klopp will do it. I still
about what you want.
Forget. Okay. Ideally, I would try Trent as a 6.
He's done it before.
I play Bradley as a right. Or even Gomez can do a good job.
He's done it before, though. He's moved Trent to please play Trent.
If we're talking permanently over a 38-game season, I'm going to think with my head a little bit here. I don't think Jurgen wants that. I don't think he trusts that enough yet.
Why? He's done it before. He put Trent in the midfield in 17-18, just before we played the Champions League final away at Chelsea. Nathaniel Klein played right back, Trent played in midfield. So it's not like he's not done it before. He's done it before, and he's starting to do it more. It's about
doing it consistently, Simon.
In
a dead rubber game.
He's starting to do it more, though.
It's about doing it consistently.
It's generally like 10, 15 minutes here and there. We were chasing a game today.
Yeah, but look, he never done this before, though. Even in previous season when we were chasing games, this never happened. It's starting to happen now.
If this player becomes available from Liverpool,
are you talking about him playing in midfield? When you say midfield, are you talking 8 or 6?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking him. That's what I'm asking Navi. Would you play him as an 8? Would you play him as
I think he can play the 8. I think he can play the 8. Asim will tell you something different. I think he can play the 8, but Asim will tell you something different.
No, I think he can play the 8.
I think he can play the 8 in the previous system. In this system, you expect it to be a 6. An 8 and a 10. I don't think he needs to have the play in front of him, and this is why I like him. In the previous system, when he used to invert in the second phase of play, then he used to have that sort of right-sided freedom on the overlap on the right, drive into the box. I think he's had that game for a while, but in that previous where we used to have a 2-3-5 system rather than a 3-box-3. But look, he has got so much ability. It's horses for courses. When we need Trent to dictate the play and break the lines from midfield in the last 10, 15 minutes, I think we can do it. But look, it's going
But
to
I
be a
think
difficult.
it becomes. But Asim, just on this again,
Okay.
Trent. I think it becomes a bit of a annoying problem because we know Trent just wants to move forward. He just wants to move forward. I don't think Trent now wants to be that right back that crosses in from the right hand side. And like you said, in the previous systems, right, in previous years where we've been successful, he's hogged that right hand side line. I think he wants to come in more because he thinks he's more devastating, coming in more, picking out that pass, whether it's to Darwin or Gakpo's on top, or whether it's to drive. I think we're going to have it's whether it's a nice problem, I don't know. I don't know whether Klopp trusts him as a lone six. I don't think he does.
I really want to see Thiago and Trent in a pivot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really- no, honestly, I
Don't
really
mention Thiago, please. Don't. No.
I have to see that
Play
one.
FIFA. Switch on FIFA 20.
It's not about
Switch on
FIFA.
FIFA 24 and play that system in
But
your
this
own
worked
mind.
by me.
It's not going to exist here. It's not going to happen here.
Trent in the pivot is
It's not going to happen it's not going to happen under Klopp. Thiago's gone. Thiago's gone. I'm telling you, Thiago's gone.
Hear him out.
For 2-3 games, because if Thiago, this is going to be a very bold statement. I don't know when Thiago's going to be back and how many games he's going to play, but we need a mold, like a player of his type of mold, to come in the summer. And if Thiago goes in the summer, we need to bring a player like him to play.
Where do you fit McAllister and Szoboszlai then?
But that's the question. Options is It's better to have options. I need to see that once. I need to see Thiago.
Where's Elliot and Jones happening? Where's Jones? Okay, where's Jones, Elliot, and Bajicic's role then? What's Jones?
Bajcetic could be that player that can play in the pivot with Trent. That's realistic. Maybe we don't need to dip into the market, but as a complete replacement, we were talking about Andre. It was like Andre is that guy. Andre's the guy. And we
please, stop mentioning Thiago, please. Don't mention that name again on the show.
He's a Liverpool player, no?
He's not a Liverpool player.
He is a Liverpool player.
How many times has he played this season? How many times have you seen him on TV? Apart from FIFA.
You know he's not fit.
This ain't no virtual game.
It's an ideal.
Avi, did you get beat by Sarib last night by any chance on FIFA?
He doesn't want to play me. He's too scared.
But look, I think we'll be talking about Trent, when until the cows go home, won't we? But look, he is such a wonderful footballer. You probably want him higher up the pitch because I think he scored about 14 goals in his Liverpool career. It's about 100 goal involvements. I saw start earlier this week, but I think we've got the creators up front. Let's not forget the plan this year was to have McAllister in the 8. So there was creators in the 8 and /10 positions, and this guy was the deep playmaker and the deep controller. So I think we need a balance. But I mean, if you're going to play him in the 6, then you're naturally going to give him a few more off the ball responsibility. And Trent, we're just talking about right back and taking him off the responsibility. Yes, you're going to put him in midfield, but there's a lot more traffic in midfield. And if you really, and the way Liverpool play, we want our Fabinho or Declan Rice to put a few more challenges. And we've seen he does like a duel, but he's not that footballer over a season. He can do a job for you. And I'm not judging Trent in midfield with the likes of Sheffield United and Fulham. Whatever midfield we play is good enough. But I'm judging Liverpool's midfield on the big day against the Manchester Cities, against Arsenal, because that's when you need your best players in the best positions. Who can do a job at left back against Fulham. Let's be honest.
I think this is why we've put a lot of eggs in our basket on Bajicic, and Klopp is a firm believer that this player will give us that flexibility of he will start as a 6, but then he can drift and rotate with Trent when and if needed throughout a game. I think that's the plan, to have Bajicic as the sitting 6, and then when Trent wants to go forward, he will cover him or play in that 2, like that box system that you suggest, like that we do play 3-2-2-3. I think that's the plan. Whether we go out in the market and, like Sarib says, get a Thiago type kind of player, I can't see it.
Yeah. Well, Gina, I want to ask you, because there's been a few messages about comments, about Dom's form. Someone mentioned that Trent is our KDB, so he needs to be in the RCM position. But just a few words on Szoboszlai's form/role. So I don't think he's dipped in form. I think, he had a brilliant start to the season. But I think if you want a bit of protection, and who's doing the protection for Trent at the moment, that he's in right back positions or deep positions, is someone like, Szoboszlai. We've seen,
look, let's not sugarcoat him, man. End of the day, the guy hasn't been great. But the last 3 or 4 games, I'm not going to lie, and Dominic Szoboszlai going forward, there's been so many instances, where he makes the wrong choice. Today, especially in the first half, there was 4 or 5 instances where he got towards the box. His little layoffs weren't even coming off.
Yeah,
His
Gene,
little 1-2s that
he's
the
stuck
little
in
one.
right wing back, he's been awful.
Sorry.
Since you stuck
Sorry?
him right wing back, he's been awful.
Exactly, man. It's all Avi's fault, man. Honestly, man.
You're
All Avi's
the
fault.
one that put him right wing back.
Yeah, it's all Avi's fault.
I think we need to cut him a
Avi's the
bit of
jinx,
slack.
man. Avi's the jinx. Look, I'm
No.
not saying take him out the side or anything like that, but we can't sugarcoat it and say that, you know what,
No, look,
he's been great.
He wasn't
He's
his
been
best today. Of
nowhere
course.
near his best. Asim, he was
course.
poor. He was actually poor. And there's been a couple of other games. Yes, off the ball. Yes, I accept that. You know what? He probably does cover Trent and all that. But Asim, he's our right CM. He's the one that's we need some sort of he needs to give us some sort of in terms of creativity there. I don't think he's giving us enough in that sense, Asim. He needs to do a lot more. Even his intricate play over the last 3 or 4 games hasn't really been there. He gives the ball away a lot more than he did, especially in the first 4 or 5 games that we saw him play. And look, I'm not having a go at the lad. He had an amazing start to his Liverpool career. There's going to be, he's just come to Liverpool, huge football club. There's going to be some vetting period, but he didn't really need it. And the last few games have taken its toll. I don't think it's anything to do with him like having a rest or anything like that, because I think he's 23 years old. The lad's ready to play. Slight dip in form, yes, but he will still come good. And look, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, yeah, you know what, he's been played well. He's done this, because he hasn't. I don't think he has any from what I've seen.
Just my 2 pence worth. I think players like Szoboszlai is, and especially the way he carries himself, you don't drop them, Asim. They play themselves back into form. Yeah. So he will come. And look, we always expected a little, patch where he was gonna not get figured out, or it's just where he just has to channel himself in games. Yeah. Pace himself in games. We've seen this marauding box to box, pace and power. Szoboszlai, the first sort of 8 games of the season, we've said, wow, player of the season already. All of us have said it. PFA, close it up now, close shop. He's done it. Look, he's come to a new league. He's adjusting. McAllister the same. He's adjusting to this new sort of transition of just not a new club, but this 6th role. Gravenberch is still adjusting. So it's going to take time to pin it all together. But once it does, he'll be totally fine.
I'm not going to go.
He'll be giving us no. We agree with you.
That, because I just think there's just more that I need to see from him on the ball. Off the ball, I'm all right with it. It's on the ball that I think there's instances where he's playing the wrong pass. He's 1-2 little touches.
Of course,
3 times.
On another day, that offside decision against Salah trade. If Diaz times that run properly, that's a goal. And that was the initial shot from Szoboszlai. So he was picking up good positions. He picked up the free kick for Trent. He's still having an influence. It's just we want a bigger influence throughout the 90. Than what we're getting right now.
Asim disagrees.
I know. Asim wants to say something, and I'm looking forward to it.
Look, I think it is generally because of his role. If he looks tired, it's because of his role. If he's a bit of lack of out of form,
first half, you can't say that because of his role. He's misplacing passes all over the shop.
Look, I said that he wasn't great today. I think there was one where he cut inside on his left foot. He cut inside on his left foot, and he should have given it to Salah on the outside for a little, tapping across the goal. But there are moments he's not perfect. But generally speaking, for the last 2-3 months, I think you've seen if he's a bit tired is because of what he's expected to do. We didn't expect Szoboszlai to come into a double pivot if Salah's playing as Trent's playing as a conventional right back. We didn't expect him to be, next to McAllister at times. And it's because he's been so good. And then when we get the ball, if he's going to come into the double pivot and Salah's hugging the touchline on the halfway line, then when we get the ball and we move further up the pitch, he's expected to make that KDB run as well. And over 2-3 months, that role, it catches up on you. And then he's expected to be the legs in midfield and really be the instigator in the press and in the counter press. So look, it catches up on you. Maybe we need to manage his minutes a bit better, and he make sure he's got the energy in his legs.
Would you
comes off every game.
Let's be honest, he's had some intense games for his country as well.
No, Sarib, you got to remember, you can say he's been coming off at the 65, 70 minute, but look at the first 8 games against Newcastle,
Recently.
Third game in, the Spurs game, he's been running to the ground. He's Hungary's talisman. He's the catalyst for Hungary's success. That's why they've qualified for Euro 2024. So he's been carrying a nation as well. And he's only 22. You got to remember that.
Exactly. And he is probably taking a lot of the burden of this lack of destroyer that we have.
And he's not used to this
Which is
running.
fair,
Apart
I'm
from
not-
last season at Leipzig, Marco Rose put him through his paces. Season before that at Leipzig, he was playing this 10 role, casual. And Marco Rose said, we need to implement a different style to you. We believe that you can play this sort of marauding midfielder and you've got to track back. So last season at Leipzig was his first real season where he was covering kilometers and he was covering mileage, and all of a sudden come to the Premier League, which is a different kettle of fish. It's more intense, the intensity, the aggression, everything's more. He's done a fine job. It's just that we do want him to pick up because 6-7 games.
But then, Asim, then we've got a big problem then. Then we've got a big problem then. And the reason our big problem is if we're relying Soboslai, like you guys are saying, to cover all this ground, do all of this. We've got Mac, who's not even a 6, and we're going to stick with Mac as being the 6 for, let's say, till the end of the season, like you guys are saying. That is a major problem that we've got then. Because we've got arguably two players who are like that good in their positions, which we're asking them to do work, asking them to do jobs that they not really, let's say, renowned to do. So we're asking them to do something that they shouldn't really be doing. We should definitely be dipping into the market then and buying somebody who's going to actually help these guys if it's going to enhance us in terms of becoming the proper team. I just don't think that works then. Two of your best players, you're taking them out.
That's why Endo needs to play more.
Mohammed said that who's come with the chat, would you start him on Wednesday? I'd actually drop him for Sheffield United. I'd actually rest him. I think you've got Jones, Gravenberch, you've got McAllister.
Elliot.
I wouldn't start Elliot away to Sheffield United just because of the physicality that they will bring. I think he'll a player to come on after 70 minutes, 100%. Elliot's fine. I think I would go with those three away on Wednesday.
When did Szoboszlai get taken off today?
60th minute.
50th,
Yeah, so I think he plays on Wednesday. I think
100%
our midfield on Wednesday night.
Man.
I think our midfield on Wednesday night is McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Szoboszlai.
He came on 64th.
There's some early team news for you lads.
What do you think? What do you think, Asim?
I think if he's got, what did he say? 62nd minute.
65th.
65th.
Yeah.
So I think he plays on Wednesday night.
Did
So
McAllister?
how do you win? What we going with though?
Oh, he came off.
McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Szoboszlai.
Endo? Where does Endo get in there? I think Endo has a shout. It's a midweek game. He plays as a weekly.
I don't think Dominic starts on Wednesday.
Look, you know what we have to understand is wherever we've been, generally speaking, in away games, we haven't really controlled it. So
Maybe
I think,
Endo is needed.
whether it's Luton, whether it's Toulouse, we need some control on Wednesday night. Doesn't matter who plays. And you might see that. And I think we saw maybe the first signs of Liverpool. We've been talking about this verticality over the summer. Is it too direct at times? Maybe we saw that today with McAllister and Szoboszlai and, Gravenberch. And Gravenberch, I have to check the stats, but someone told me he lost the ball 21 times today.
Who did?
I have to double check that though.
Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Sort of a few misplaced passes in the second half. I don't think it was that.
Gravenberch.
Lost possession. 21. I have to double check that.
There was Gravenberch. There was a few instances where I thought he did well, but then the final thing he went wrong. I thought he did a good first half, and second half I thought he dipped off. He was nowhere near the player that we saw. Nowhere near the player that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think no one was good second. I think everyone was bad second half. I don't think there was a stand-up play second half.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, look where we were after we started talking about Trent's free kick, and look where we ended up. We forgot there's a few more goals to cover as well. But I'll come to you.
I want to talk
That's the beauty though. And before we start, hold on. Manners, please like and subscribe, people. Like I know most channels will always talk about the game and the goals and each goal and dissect it. That's fine. That's great. I respect that. But look, this channel, we just go off on a tangent and we start mentioning things. Anyone would think tuning in that we were talking about Liverpool lost today, but we actually pretty won. So these are the beauty of the channel. Look, it's just natural, isn't it? 3 guys and 1 bacha, right, on the show, on the channel. And we're just talking about the game. So that's the beauty of the channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. We're on our way to 7K.
Yeah, so who was I coming to for the 1-1? I'll come. Avi, you've done plenty of bullying.
Good Sarib, man.
I'm going to Sarib. My loyalty lies with Sarib. That's a nice Liverpool cup, by the way, Sarib. But 1-1, I think Van Dijk goes up and we get lost. Lack of communication, lack of organisation. I think Trent tried to cover. We've been talking about Trent in midfield and right back. He was playing centre back for a second for that goal, but he was trying to cover Van Dijk. Matip couldn't get out to the right, and suddenly they've got 2 players on the touchline, and they work the ball. And I thought it was so easy, Sarib.
Yeah, but like, look, that's been happening the whole season. The only difference is we've got the best goalkeeper in the world at the back. And how many chances do we concede a game? I look at the XG after the matches. Teams normally have 1 or 2 XG against Liverpool every game. That's even Luton. I'm talking about Brighton or Albion. Anyone that plays us, the XG is above 1. If that's not an indication of a problem, I don't know what is. How many chances you look go to the games? How many chances do we concede? I can see it from the TV. How many chances do we concede per 90? So many chances I see, and Alisson bailing us out. The defense has been a problem all season, but Alisson saves us so many. I think he's the most saves made in the Premier League. I think he's third. I could be wrong now, but I think it was third or fourth the last time I checked. And that's an indication. How many one-on-one saves does Alisson make? This is not. I'm not even
a million.
I'm not talking about a goal now, but this has been happening since Chelsea on the opening day of the season when we were getting carved apart on the opening day of the season. By the way, this is down to having a 6, not having a proper stabilized back 4. This is injuries. This is all sorts and mashed together. And this is the problem it causes. We defend so badly. Conceding 3 goals at home to Fulham is a disgrace.
Sarib, you say that, and look, Marco Silva he sets his stall, and they will create chances. Fulham last season were a very good football team, pleasing to the eye. This season, nothing's changed apart from Mitrovic leaving. Right? They have players that will flood that box. They've got runners. You know, Harrison Reed as well. Big shout out to Harrison Reed. I thought he was a very good player, top talent. But look, today,
Alinia wasn't bad as well.
He wasn't, but I still would have signed him. 2 out of the 3 goals, Sarib, that's the goalkeeper's mistakes. The one through his legs, that's a bit harsh on him, but Alisson saves that. Alisson gets a better body or sticks out a leg on that, right? Harry Wilson, very alert, very instinctive, gets that finish. The second one is inexcusable, Kelleher. Just stuck on his line. He needs to be a little bit more forward thinking. Should have come off his line. He didn't. He stays on his line. It's a big issue in his gameplay as well. Kelleher today, 2 out of 3 goals. I don't want to criticize the poor lad because look, he's coming in a not an ideal situation. Goalkeeper's hard. Number 2 is hard to get any game time. The League Cups, FA Cups, the Europa League is not enough game time. He is a good goalkeeper, but today, 2 out of the 3 mistakes, inexcusable.
Let me give you some context here. You speak about Fulham being a good side. They have scored 3 before today.
This season 13 before they started. Yeah,
they scored 3
goals. They
also scored 3 goals in only 2 matches in the league this season. One of them when they had 2 penalties. They're going to Anfield now, no penalties, clear chances, scoring 3 goals. We're meant to be fighting for the title. And the teams they scored the 3 goals against are Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sheffield United.
If you only scored 2 against Wolves.
Gene,
2 are penalties.
Gene, the way we play,
Anfield and scoring 3 goals without a penalty. It's a problem. I'm telling you, teams like Fulham should not be coming to Anfield and scoring 3 goals without a top striker. You don't have a top striker. They have Raul Jimenez. It's not 2019.
Is there an argument of complacency here?
Absolutely. I think so.
Complacency for what? With who?
Oh, you gotta chill out, man. You're really acting like we're flipping second in the league, right? We're flipping one or 2 points off top table. Yeah, there's been a couple of little issues that we think. Chill out, man. Relax, please. Relax.
Yes.
Sarib says, but Gene, Sarib says Alisson has been making,
Alisson, yes, makes big saves in the game.
He's been doing that for years, not just 18 months. But the way Liverpool play, Gene, the way Liverpool play is high risk, high reward, and then you need a world-class keeper to save you. It's just the way we play with the high line, and it's set up for that. The risk, the high reward is that we create probably 6-7 chances for squeezing teams as well. And if we're going to let 1 or 2 go, then it's just playing the percentages over a season. But I read a tweet from Simon Brundish. He's into his stats. He says, and again, it needs to be verified, but it's an interesting tweet. He tweeted, Kelleher has conceded 26 goals, having faced 22.8 XG as Liverpool's keeper. He basically turns the opposition into Mohamed Salah.
There you go, then, isn't it? Asim, look, I'm not gonna have a rant and rave at the goalkeeper. He should have done better on both of the goals. I felt even when I was watching the game live, I thought he should have done better. I've seen the replay. Yeah, the first one, maybe the defense could have done a lot better, but still, come on. He's hit it with his left foot. He should be doing better. Ali saves that. That's just the way it is. And the second one, like Avi explained it, it's inexcusable. You have to be saving them 12 chances. And in a game, we from now until let's say the United game, the couple of games that we've got, we just have to hope and pray that we manage to come through the next 2 games with 2 wins. The 2 away games not going to be easy. I'm sure it's Sheffield United and Palace, so they're not going to be easy games both away. And we just need to come through these 2 unscathed and hope that Ali's back, because in terms of goalkeeping class, this obviously you're talking about the best goalkeeper in the world, regardless of who comes in, is going to have an issue. And like you mentioned, it's the way we play the game: high risk, high reward. And if that is going to mean that Alisson is going to make a save or two per game, that's just the way it is. If this guy isn't as good enough, if it isn't as good, and isn't going to make these type of saves, then you've got to question: do we play the high risk, high reward game? Do we play slightly conservative? I'm not saying change the system, Asim. I am not saying that I would still go the same way. But this is what's going to happen in the next couple of games until.
It's easier said than done, isn't it?
I'm just coming on this as well. Virgil is something out of the norm. Usually, it's Matip who will go forward. Yeah, he will drive and bomb forward and play those little passes with that lanky sort of dribbling style that he has. Van Dijk usually doesn't do that. As soon as Van Dijk was out of position, that's it. It was mayhem. It's why it's so pivotal that Van Dijk just keeps it simple.
But even then, if you look at the goal, Trent came into the centre back position, told Matip to go out wide. We've still had enough. It's not like you.
Yeah, but positionally they're out of place. Positionally, they're out of place.
Fair play, but at least the structure was still there. You still can't allow that to happen.
But Avi, you're going to get those situations quite a lot. Why? Because we're putting Tsimikas on the halfway line or even close to it. Because he's not. I've said it in previous shows that Klopp wants him higher and not really involved in the first phase of build-up. And when you have that, and the winger is touch tight on him, then Van Dijk sometimes doesn't have the angle, and if he doesn't have the switch with his right to Salah, then he has to come onto his left foot and carry the ball into midfield at times. You saw it against Manchester City as well a few times. So it puts a bit more responsibility on the centre-backs. But look, you can't legislate for keeper mistakes. But Sarib, you have to stop it at source. From my days of 11-a-side and 5-a-side football, when we picked the keeper up from the telephone, who was standing outside the telephone box, but we knew he's shit in net, but we have to get closer to the attackers. And I thought Liverpool on a few occasions didn't do that. If you've got a guy, the understudy of Alisson, then you need to make sure you stop it at source, and we didn't do that.
Yeah, that's why I feel sorry for Keller in a sense, because he's always going to be compared to Alisson, and whenever he's played, he does have a reputation of being a good shot stopper, good with his feet. Some people say with his feet he's arguably better than Alisson. He's more comfortable on the ball with his feet. That's a debate we're going to have another day. But
he started off as a striker as well. I think originally he was.
I don't. Yeah, like you say, obviously the mistakes come from Kelleher, but we need to stop the chances from coming in the first place. How do we stop that first phase before it gets to Kelleher? But a goalkeeper's job is to save shots, and he's not doing that, and which is why we're going to criticize him for that, because those are saves that any goalkeeper, a half decent keeper, should be making. A keeper that's playing at Liverpool's level, you should be making saves like that. It's your bread and butter as a goalkeeper. Like Roy Keane's, it's your job. It's your job. You got to make saves like that. You know what I mean?
That's actually your poorest ever impression.
I just done it off the cuff. I didn't even think.
Yeah, start thinking then. Listen, just a quick one on this. It's goalkeeper. It's all on momentum as well. Asim. He's come in 2 games in. He played well against Toulouse. He made some very good saves against not Toulouse. Who was the one that we just played? Lask, wherever they are. Right, played very well against them. Yes, it's poor opposition. Today he makes mistakes. Very similar to Tsimikas. When Tsimikas first came in after Robo's injury, it's momentum. The more game time, you will get better. Yes, Tsimikas probably was at fault for the third of Fulham's today. Should have jumped higher. But those ones, when the defender's coming, when an opposition player is coming onto the ball, it's easier because you ain't going to get that leap as the attacker is. But with Tsimikas, we've seen better performances. With Kelleher, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, hoping that Alisson. What is the prognosis on Alisson? Is it 2-3 weeks?
2-3 weeks. The target is the
United game. Is back in
United game. So hopefully he's back for the United game. So the next 2 games, just got to make sure that concentration levels and the defense has to help him out as well. We've just got to be a little bit more assuring.
I think that segues into the next player, Chin, that needs a bit of his own segment. At Tsimikas for the last 2-3 weeks, he's a perfect example of rhythm, minutes in his legs, and he's getting the confidence now. And I think it was a decent performance again today.
You and before the game, you said you jinxed. What's his name? Matip. I think I jinxed him because I was sat next to Bashi and I go, you know what? I'm actually really impressed with the Tsimikas this game. A minute later, they scored a header.
But those ones, when the defender's facing up, it's very hard to get that leap. It happened to Trent last season against Mitrovic. No. Yes. Hold on, Gina. It happened at
Mitrovic. That's Mitrovic, bro. Arguably one of the best headers of the ball that we've seen in the Prem. He's up against probably the smallest guy that was on the pitch at that time. So I expected better from him at that time. And I probably just jinxed it. But in terms of his performance of how well he's done over the last few games, credit to Tsimikas. You know, he's he's done really, really well with the games that he plays. Yes, look, but there's going to be instances where, like today, I'm not gonna fully blame him. Yes, he should have done a lot better on that chance. He should, you know, it was a goal that he could have definitely jumped higher. But his performance, you know, fair play to him. He had a decent game, and he's had
got another
decent,
assist today. Got another assist today as well.
and fair play to him. So you know, you got to give
And
him
that Harami, he scored. That's the second goal against us. He scored once against Craven Cottage as well. That's his second goal against us as well. Yeah.
Dude, Nicole Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-1 he scored. Yeah. 2021.
Yeah. But I think the team weren't helping him enough, Sarib, the first half. Just on a side note, I think we've seen some, big, strong strikers, technical strikers, strong strikers who like to run the channel as well. And I think we dealt them really, really well. Van Dijk has come through flying colours. But I think today was his most stern test this season, I thought. Jimenez won quite a few headers. And that's what brought Fulham into the game. We've seen Antonio, we've seen Watkins, and we absolutely bullied them, whether it was Mate, Bukanate, or in
Ireland last week, I thought that.
No, because I'm biased.
Yeah.
Because I'm biased.
I think at Anfield this season, or maybe you can just say as a home or away, I think Jimenez as a 1v1 battle, I think he's been the best striker that Van Dijk has seen this season, and
without a doubt.
And that was giving him a few.
He was brilliant.
I think that's down to his injury they had a couple of years ago. I'm being biased there and saying.
No, but he won so many headers today.
Yeah, but I think
Van Dijk in the air at least 3 times. And I was shocked.
I've watched quite a bit of him this season. Like I've been keeping tabs on him, especially after his injury. You can tell like players don't want to like clatter into him, or they don't want to like head into him and like cause any damage to him. Maybe Van Dijk was doing the same thing. Like I said, I'm going to
No. He was timing his runs. He was timing his runs very well today. He was always two strides ahead to win the header. No, he was.
That's your good heart.
I've got to give him a lot of credit today. He played really, really well. But Asim, before you, I think what I wanted to touch on today. I know you have. I don't know if you've got this in your agenda to speak about. I want to touch up on our forward three today, man. I thought all three of them were shy. If I'm honest with you, and I thought you're always the one that this is a question to you. What you thought about our front three today? Because I'll be honest, I thought they were shy.
Asim, you remember our conversation we had yesterday night?
Yeah.
We said it's all good and well, Nunes being this sort of player and creating and getting into positions, being a very good outlet now outside of the goals. But you just want him to put them away now. You want him to just put them away. Two chances today. The game's 4-2. The bar, hitting the bar, unlucky. I don't buy that. Get it on target. Score the goal. And then the one that Salah, lovely cushion header for him, just didn't know where his footing was. You can't just
I thought you Martin Tyler for a second there.
No, it's a beautiful
lovely cushion header.
It was though. It was a beautiful deft touch from Salah, and he just scuffs it. You can't. Yeah, I get all the loving. I'm part of that loving with Darwin, but honestly, you've got to start scoring goals now.
And another thing I think that got to me, the first half, I felt there was an incident. Maybe I haven't seen this on TV, where I felt he was that close, he could have shot. We tried to pass to Salah. Oh, you gotta have a goal. You're in the box, have a goal. Why are you trying to play the simple ball to Salah? Have a goal. You're in the box. You're our number 9, have a striker. Have a shot. Flipping, you're good enough. You've got a decent strike on your shoe. Don't pass. And yet he still tried to make that pass. And then obviously the second half, obviously we all know what happened with the chances that he missed. But I'm not going to speak about.
He done well for the winner. He puts that back. He done well for the winner because he puts it back in the box. Tsimikas wins that little header, and Trent scores. So he did well.
Not just Darwin. I felt all three of them were bad. So Diaz as well. I thought Diaz didn't give us anything.
Gene, look, they had an off day. They had an off day in terms of in front of a goal. But I think all three, you can categorize them as like, they do still persevere when it's not happening, especially Salah. All three of them. And they are going to give us, especially Darwin and Diaz, to a extent, less so with Mohamed Salah, that they're going to give us really frustrating days. And let's just stick on Darwin Núñez for a second, that he will have days like this. And you spoke to me just after the game and I was saying, look, how many days of like these is he going to give us? Because the next question, Sarib, is going to be, this is going to, one day, we're not going to score 4 screamers, to sort of rescue the mission. And he's going to cost us a big game.
He has already.
But look at the Luton chance. He scores that.
Yeah, but look, he scored Newcastle. He scored, a few other crackers as well.
You can't keep referring back to Newcastle now. That was like in September, August.
Stephen, yeah.
You can't keep referring back to that. He's only got 4 league goals, Asim.
Look,
And yes, with all the performances against Villa, he missed an open goal, hits the post. He was great in that performance. I think he set it up for Salah as well. You can't just keep saying, "Oh, but Newcastle." That was back in August. We're in December now. Jar goal hai, he needs to have more. His goals ratio.
Even today, he's in on goal. Salah plays a lovely pass through. He's making all the right runs. Yeah, in on goal. He doesn't need to.
He hit it too well, man. I was so peeved off with him, man.
Calm in front of goal and just put it in. That's an easy finish. That should be your bread and butter. Erling Haaland scoring that.
We all love the fella, right? But you need to be converting. At least you get 2 chances like that. You need to be converting 1 out.
But the beauty. I think if he missed these chances last year with Henderson and Milner, these guys, we lose this game 3-2. But the beauty of having the likes of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch and even
Asim, he's an 80 million.
Look, what I mean is even the greatest strikers need rescuing. I know you're gonna say
but you can't call him a great striker, can you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I said even the greatest strikers.
Asim, 1 second. Asim, yes, they need rescuing, but they rescue you. Let's say in 20 games, they rescue you 10 times. That's the truth. They will rescue you. The great strikers, yes, will need rescuing 1 or 2 games in, let's say, 15 games.
Asim, let me ask you a question.
7 or 8 times. He rescued us once.
Asim, let me ask you a question.
Asim,
let me ask you a question. After seeing you referred to the Newcastle game, do you trust him on a one-on-one with a keeper?
Of course,
I do. Fully trust him one-on-one.
Of course, I do.
Fair enough. I personally don't, and I love the fella. I love Darwin.
I'm not saying
a one-on-one. I still don't trust him.
Avi, I'm not saying he's Jota in front of a goal. He needs composure. He's brought 20-30% improvement in his overall play. We can all agree on that.
Yeah,
but we have to understand he's gonna. I fully believe he's gonna, bring that composure in front of goal. It still is at times pure instinct and 100 miles an hour. He misses the ball, he falls. He leaves the ball behind him. He is gonna get that, but he's a chance magnet. Chances follow him because he has world-class movement.
Yeah, but Asim, he needs to convert those chances.
When you have world-class movement over the season, I think his output is gonna be a success. And
he's still gonna get 25. He's still gonna get 25.
I asked you all both the same question. I believe we win the title or lose the title because of him, not because of the defense, not because of the 6, not because of anything else. It's because of him. We win the title because it's going to be because of Darwin Núñez's chances if he puts them away or if he doesn't. That's what I think anyway.
I kind of agree with that.
At this moment in time, yeah, if I'm Cody Gakpo and I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, what do I have to do to get in this first team? I'm scoring every chance I get. Every time I get put in the team, I'm scoring. And Klopp's persistent.
I think that's a bit extreme.
How?
I think that's a bit extreme.
Every time Gakpo's in the team, he scores. Even in the league, when he started in the league against Tottenham, he scored. He scored 2 in Europa League.
I get that, but I think that's extreme. I think that's extreme by saying, "Oh, Gakpo must be thinking like, what do I have to do?" I think Gakpo will get his chances. I don't think we're being heavily reliant, but I think we've got to go to the tilt with this player because of the money. And look, he's improved. Like you said, his output this season.
Let me ask you a question. When was the last time Darwin Núñez scored a goal?
Is he a player that could cost you the title? I kind of agree.
It was Atalla, wasn't it?
I don't trust.
When was the last time Núñez scored a goal?
It was Atalla.
No, it was against
Bournemouth in the cup.
Yeah, Atalla.
That was October, start of October, I believe, or middle of October, 16th. It's been over a month since he scored. We're in December. We're in December now.
He was injured.
Diogo Jota as well. He must be thinking, what do I have to do to start games in this team? Every time.
Jota has been starting. Jota has been
starting because of Diaz's problems. Otherwise, it's the front three is Diaz, Salah.
You don't understand. Look, we were just talking about Szoboszlai and his lack of form, but what else he brings to the team. People were questioning Bobby Firmino's importance to the team. What does he do? He doesn't score a goal, but he was the catalyst to our attack. And when managers on a weekly basis came, whether they're from Europe or Premier League, they said, "Wow, Bobby Firmino is Liverpool's system." But no, I'm not comparing him to Bobby. Let me finish because I know
I've got answer.
Let me finish. What I mean is, in terms of the opposition, Darwin Núñez has got traits that no other striker in our squad has. And he pushes defenses 5 yards deeper. So the likes of Trent, the likes of McAllister, who's not a natural 6, have got a bit more time on the ball. So when I admit, I'm not going to try and defend him in front of goal. I'm not saying he's Ronaldo Nazario in front of goal. we have to have a bit of patience because
What's a striker's
he gives
job?
us so much more than
What's a
just
striker's job?
goals.
What's the striker's job? What's the striker's main job? He's the only main
fullback, isn't
nine we
it?
have. He's the only 9 we have. Jota's not a 9 as per se. Neither is Cody Gakpo. Nunes is the only 9, like you said. He's the only one in our squad that has that the characteristics of a proper striker. What is a striker's job? To put the ball.
Arsenal would sign Darwin Nunes today for 100 million.
I disagree.
Of course they would. They need a number 9 because I agree with him. I agree with Asim because they've got a lot of shite in front. They need a striker, and he would be perfect for him because that's what they need. They actually need a guy or somebody like him to play up there. But that doesn't mean that you miss.
Let me be, a striker's job
That
is to
doesn't
put the
mean-
ball in the net, and Nunes is not
agree.
putting the ball in the net. Simple as that.
I
And
agree
if
with
you're
you.
not putting the ball in the net as a striker, you don't play. Simple as that. I don't know how complex it is to understand. You're playing for a team that's trying to win the title. If you're not scoring, you get put on the bench.
This, I like this
This is
question.
Bobby for
I
me.
like-
Bobby for
I
me.
mean, I think you were right. It looks like we lost 4-3 today.
Look,
The comments are
let's
going to be.
view this. Asim, I want Avi to take this question about Diaz.
It's
'Cause
his boy,
I'm
isn't it?
worried,
It's his
I'm
boy.
actually worried about him as well.
No, but today again, if Salah uses his head and he opens up his head, right, or like looks up, he puts Diaz on a play. He gets 2 goals today. He doesn't. I think the problem is we're not involving Diaz too much. We're not giving him the ball enough on that left hand side. I don't know what it is. I saw patterns of play today where Diaz was just open. Give him the ball. Let him have a run at defenders. That's his best job. To
Let
get
him have
behind.
him every time he had
Run.
a run, he didn't do anything.
No,
Every
Gina, what's
time
the,
he had a no, I don't
what's,
buy that.
what's,
I'm not
you
buying
will
it. I'm
watch
not
the
buying
game
it. This
again.
isn't-
You're going to watch the game again, and you're going to realize that he didn't get enough of the ball.
It's not just this game. It is not just this game. It's the last few games. Don't come to me and say he doesn't get the ball. There's instances where he gets the ball, he doesn't do
And
jack
what can you
shit.
do? He scored against Luton. He scored against Ghana Miss.
Come on, Avi, man.
He scored against
A few
in
games that
midweek.
even
He's got
He
6 in,
he
I think
didn't.
he's got 5 in 13 or 6 in 13. I'm not too sure. Look, it will come. Ginelli, you got to remember what he's been through as well. You got to give at least.
okay.
Yeah,
You know,
I do agree. He could get himself involved more like he was doing early on last season before that injury against Arsenal, 100%. But yeah, no, I agree with this. Like when did Diaz last beat his fullback? I totally get this time, but we need to
Avi.
give him the ball more as well.
Just quickly checked. Salah got 57 touches. Luis Diaz got 60 touches.
It was an off day for Salah. We all know, but he still contributed with an assist. That's
But
the
what
difference.
my point is, he did have enough of the ball. But
And-
has he? did
I
he
don't
ever
think he
have-
got enough of
did
the
he
ball in
ever-
the right area though.
Avi,
In the
did he
right area
ever-
where he can really have a run.
Salah was dropping deeper to pick up the ball today, Avi.
Avi,
The
did
way
we-
we were playing, Salah was dropping.
But Gene, my question to you is, or anyone can take it, is when he came, I know he was a more of a touchline winger. We're transitioning him over the last year or so into an inside forward, getting that output. And like Avi says, he's been getting those goals. I compared his goal in midweek to like a Sadio Mane type of goal, where he runs in late from outside the box. But did he ever have that ability to go on the outside of the fullback?
And that has been that's
No,
a
he-
question that we've
he-
always. With Avi, 1 second. That is a question that we've asked for this time that he's been here since last whatever a year, 18 months that he's been here. The jury's out on him, and let's not beat around the bush. There's not many times that we've seen him go on the outside. You mentioned that he's a touchline winger. How many times? There's been so many instances where he gets the ball on the touchline. Ask him how many times. Okay, I'm being serious, asking you guys the question. How many times have you seen him actually go and beat his man this season when he's received the ball on the touchline? Not many. I've not seen it yet that many. Maybe a couple of times he has. In the first couple of games, I saw him go down the line a couple of times. I remember Abby mentioning it on one of our shows that there was a game where he actually went on the outside. But we're not seeing enough of
He
it.
likes cutting it. Look,
What I
Porto
would
is very
say,
much
what I
a
would
winger.
say is he is missing Robbo, who's on the overlap. I would say
But I
that.
think Tsimikas has supported him well.
Yeah, I
Look,
think so as well.
Yeah, but Shimika's
Without-
starting position is
It's a
if he's gonna
different.
be-
It's a different support. It's not a. It's
You know,
not the
if-
same going down the line sort of winger.
Avi,
Tsimikas supports him slightly behind him a lot
Yeah,
more.
he might start
It's not-
high, but on the overlap, I think Robbo's got a lot
He
more
doesn't-
energy.
He does.
a lot
I
more
agree
energy.
with Aston.
But and also Gravenberg on that side, he doesn't like to go on the other side. Curtis probably does it a bit better. So
Yeah, I think it's a new team. I think we're just trying to find the right formula to suit everybody. I think it's still a chop and change with Klopp. I think he doesn't know his best team at the moment. I don't think we do ourselves.
I'm not too worried about Diaz than I'm worried about Darwin converting chances. Put it that way.
look,
I'm more worried about
Avi-
Darwin starting to convert the chances because look, big games as him after January.
yeah,
If we're still in the title race, a point off or a point ahead of everyone, we need those chances to be converted. You can talk about Rafael Leao, Billy, this and that, but like, listen, you can't just write off Diaz straight away like that. Like, give him, let them settle. New midfield. We're all trying to figure things out. Robbo's been injured on that left-hand side as well. Simic has to come in. Didn't have a great 2-3 games. Now he's starting to find a little bit of rhythm. Still sort of making mistakes like we saw the one today. So we just got to trust the process.
Yeah, 100%. Gene, you mentioned the 3-2 goal, so we don't need to go over it again. But 3-3, I think Endo, we mentioned it at the earlier part of the show, Blue Chip and Avi and whatever his name is on a weekly basis. But his name is Votaro today, and I think it's only right that I come to you, Avi, that you talk about this player who came, and and the timing of his signing, Avi, it needs to be sort of mentioned again, that we thought this guy's the replacement of Caicedo because that deal didn't go through. But when Thiago and Bajcetic are fit, if they are fit, this guy is our 5th, 6th choice, and for a 5th, 6th choice, he's a brilliant footballer.
He is. He's come in, and I'm sure he knows that his playing time in the league will be limited. And yes, look, he's not the sound name that we were expecting when we were linked with Caicedo and all the 6s in the world, and we thought, we're in there with a Caicedo or a Romeo Lavia, and we end up with Wataru Endo. People thought, what the hell, what's George Matke doing? But we brought him from Stuttgart, who, funnily enough, they've been battling relegation for the last 2-3 years. Now they're battling for the title. But look, he's come to Liverpool. He's done very well in the cup games. He did well midweek, and today, I thought midweek was his best game. And he's already scored in the Europa League. But today comes in, just again came in, just did things simple, but did things simply, but did things quickly as well. He knew the onus was on us to get an equaliser and then for the winner. That finish, top class finish.
He deserves it.
First time. First time. If we had shot it over, we wouldn't have said, "Oh, for fuck's sake." It would have been like, what did we expect? But to hit that and to get that direction in and to curl it in past, brilliant finish. And to be honest, he was again that. What was it? 10 minutes that he had, or 10, 15 minutes he had. He was superb, absolutely superb. Is he ready to join the league? Probably not. But the job that he's doing, and he will know his role in this team.
Let me credit. So I'm going to credit you because you pointed this out very, very clearly. You said he's not a destroyer. He's much better on the ball, and I started to notice he's much more comfortable possession. The way he he keeps the game ticking.
He reminds me of Joe Allen.
Now.
Neat and tidy.
A bit of Joe Allen. When Joe Allen was in Liverpool, like Brendan Rodgers and Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, good shot.
Like that. We'll keep it neat and tidy. We'll never get the plaudits. We'll get the odd goal and this and that. But today, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's another thing that I think that he did that we missed there's a challenge that he put on Paulinho when he won the ball. Right in front of me when he did it. In the whole game, not one of our players put in a challenge like that. He managed to put that challenge in. But why? Because he's an actual 6 and he's able to do that. And to be fair to him, I remember that and I was like, I need to mention that because not one of our players put in a challenge like that all game.
Yeah, 100%. And then the moment Gene came, I knew at the moment we equalized, we're getting the winner. We're getting the winner. And it was that Steven Gerrard moment, wasn't it? And it came through Trent, who, if there was one player who sort of deserved to equalize, it was Endo. But there was only one player who deserved the winner.
100%. And what an amazing finish. And to be fair, just before that, this is something Darwin did right today. He actually kept the ball alive on the right hand side. I think, to be fair, I thought it was a bit of a foul that Tsimikas on that header.
Yeah, Tsimikas, yeah.
With that header, I thought the other guy got to the ball ahead of him. But what a finish, man! Because I saw obviously the replays after the game, and to be able to get it right into the corner with the way he hit him, man, there's not many players that can hit the ball with that sort of finesse and get it right into the corner. And fair play in front of the cop. There's a moment, and that defines the sort of player. And he was one of my. He was out of Liverpool's performances. I thought Maka had a decent game in terms of our midfield. But him, what a performance from him today, man. And fair play to him. He got his moment. And, he's our vice captain. And you mentioned it, quite a few people have mentioned it in the comments. He's a player now that he's beginning to take responsibility. He feels like I have to take I have got this. Liverpool is on my sort of shoulders. I have to be able to take this team sort of forward. And hats off to the guy, man. The Scouser in our team. What a player. The best right back in the world. Anybody tells you anything.
Sarib, how much do those?
I'm annoyed. Let me tell you why I'm annoyed. Because
Ooh,
when you
annoying.
watch these games that are not televised, you're behind the actual goal alert.
Oh, okay.
I was on Twitter being a numpty. I don't know why I always do this as a bad habit. I was watching on my TV on some dodgy streaming and I see Endo scored, that's fine. And Endo scores. Then I'm scrolling it, Endo celebrating, and I see, oh my God, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I thought it was a repeat of his first goal, but I saw 35 seconds by Liverpool. I'm like, there's absolutely no way. And then I see a clip of Asim with it's like writing symbols. I'm like, oh, no way. And then I screamed. But yeah, that's the only thing I hate about non-televised game. We need to be on TV more.
Listen, you should just FaceTime with this Pillock. Live stream the match. He got the goal. Of course, he was going to get the goal. Shoot, Trent, shoot, Trent. He's got 100 minutes of footage on his iPhone.
He's got the best.
He could have been streaming the team live.
There's 1 terabyte on this.
No, but
Asim gets the best. You gotta give him credit, man.
The best content.
You gotta give him credit, man. I don't know how he does it because I couldn't do it. I can't, bro. I'm so invested in the game.
I think it is like, okay, you capture sort of free kick just in case. So the Trent one, yeah, he's probably captured, but to capture the Trent winner, he must be like stuck to his like ready chest all game like this. Trent, shoot Trent. Blah blah.
It's a good job you're not there. You'd end up flipping in Klopp's arms somehow. Oh God, man! But
it literally was. I think when that ball was laid off, Simicas, yeah, you could say it was a foul. I think everyone was like, just fucking shoot Trent, and he did. And what a winner!
You heard
what a winner, man. We know I think I need to see the goal again. I'll watch it a few times later on, but there was a second or two where he was going to hit it, but then he composed himself and then hit it. And I thought, to have that composure right at the end, at the business end of the game, it just shows you how much composure that this lad has. And we always know that this lad can strike a ball, but now he's turning up on the big moments. And this, like what you guys been saying, the Steven Gerrard moments. And, he knows all the history of Stevie coming up trumps on the, on the big moments. And, long may continue.
I tell you, a beauty about Trent is on open play. He will hit it low and hard. Against City, we saw it. We saw it today as well. He'll hit it low and hard. When you hit it low and hard, you always give yourself a chance of getting your target.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week. I thought maybe Szoboszlai was the only guy who can score that type of goal. And today, Trent, it just fell. And look where he was. He was on the left-hand side.
Low, hard, past Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, exactly. But when we were chasing the game, I think it was too old, when we changed system. I think we went to a 4-2-4, 4-4-2, call it what you like. We went Gravenberch and Trent in midfield with Gomez inverting at times or being a conventional right back as well. But Avi, I thought, and we went 3-2 down, and I thought, you know what? We went a bit too early. We were chasing the game. I thought it was a bit too early.
100%.
But what did you think? What did you think whilst when you were watching that? Obviously, Klopp will say, "Look, my changes, but we won 4-3. Who cares?" But at that time, I thought, you know what? There was still about 10-15 minutes left. Yeah,
slight panic stations and slight reminiscent of last season, where it's 2-2 now, or it's like we're chasing the game and it's going to go horribly wrong. But look, it did pay off. It paid off up until Endo coming on. Up until then, I think Gomez was on the right. He put in like 2 crosses which. No one was there. It was actually not. They weren't bad crosses. It just no one was there. Nunes was a little bit short, and then Trent was trying everything. Some was coming off, some of it wasn't coming off. Gravenberch was tiring. It was only when we made that sub that we gained that little bit of control again, and that's it. We came to our senses because otherwise, Gravenberch he ran a lot today as well, and he came off. But Trent in that role, Gomez on the right. I liked it, but I didn't like it in that situation, but in the situation that we were in, where we were just chasing for that win. I'd rather see it from the start, 0-0. Let's see how we get on then.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with Asim though.
Yeah,
I genuinely when I saw them substitutes being made at that time, the first thing I said was, "This is too early. We should have waited at least 5 to even 10 minutes. It gives us enough time because it's way too early, man." And the one thing that I was worried about was getting caught on the counter, and that's exactly what happened. Yes, we got away with it. You mentioned Klopp will say, "Yeah, we won the game 4-3." But you could tell that Fulham were dangerous on the counter attack as well. They were, they're not like Avi mentioned, Silver's size. They're not scared. They'll have a go, and they do look dangerous on the break. So I agree.
Yeah, but I think the Klopp deserves credit as well. A lot of the times when we're chasing games, or even when it's level, we do put Salah narrower, especially if the right back is out wider, or Harvey Elliott comes up, comes on, sorry, and Salah's narrower. But there was a moment, and I captured it. You'll probably see it on Twitter as well, Avi. Sorry to annoy you, but he changed. I think it was Nunes and Salah, and he told him to swap because he wanted Salah narrower, and he was playing effectively as a second striker. And that was the position when he laid it off to Endo. So credit to Klopp.
Yeah, and it won't be his finest assist. But look, they kept going as well. They kept going, and look, we've mentioned Hendo's finish. On another day, does he hit that as sweetly? Probably not. But in the context of the game where it was, 3-2 behind, he gets a great finish. And yeah, the little tactical switches, we've seen that from Klopp this season. He's made him at the right time. He's made him at the right time. Today, yeah, he probably went early, but in the end, at the end of his words will be paid off.
Yeah, 100%. Is there anything else? Wow, we're going overtime these days. Because we're enjoying the conversation so much.
Both drop points, so that's a plus, isn't it?
That is the icing on the cake. That's the icing on the cake. But I think last time we had a bit of a mad one a few years ago. Maybe it was the title-winning season where someone called Mr. Origi came up with the winner. It was a Marco Silva side as well. So maybe some good omens.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Let's just let's see where we're at.
Everton was managed by Marco Silva was at the time.
Everton.
No, not last.
Yeah.
No, that was
when we beat them.
When we beat them,
Origi scored.
Well, he scored against them in that title-winning team as well.
I'm pretty sure Ancelotti
who was their manager in the title season?
I'm sure it was Ancelotti.
It was Marco Silva in the title-winning season when we beat them 4-1.
No, it was Marco Silva because he got sacked after beating 5-2. Yeah, it was
5-2.
Yes.
Yeah. So omens, Avi.
Look, I've always said when you have a Japanese player in your team, you will win. we will win. We will win.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and I said it already. We will win 2 out of the 4 competitions that we're in. Whichever ones they are, let's see.
Avi chalo Taki Kinsa.
He scored, by the way, today. He scored last week against PSG as well, and Taki scores again today against.
Avi, you think Liverpool are 100% going to win Europa League and Carabao Cup?
They will win 2 out. They will win 2 out of the 4 that we're in.
Yeah, so Carabao Cup, we're basically in the semi-finals. I think we play West Ham, and then we got this only Chelsea that's half decent left, and I think they play Newcastle. So one of them is going out. So I think it's a free run in the FA Cup and Europa League. We're going to win that. It's fine. So
I'm saying let's see where we are by the 1st of January.
Let's
see how we are at the 1st of January. If we're a point off or a point ahead or 2 points ahead or 2 points off, we're winning the league.
No, you said we're winning the league.
There or thereabouts. There or thereabouts.
Don't let him hide, Asim. Don't let him hide. He said Liverpool are winning the league in the summer. In the summer, he said this. We're not letting him hide. I will clip you if we don't win it.
Listen, Gina said that we wouldn't qualify in the top 4 this season.
He's liar. He's lying.
No, we've got on drink.
What I'm saying is, if you want to win the league, listen. If you want to win the league, ask Darwin Núñez. That's all I'm saying. You want to win the league? Ask.
You know what it is? I tell you what. I tell you what. As far as
you know what,
go, I'm not sure if we all believe in scripts, but I think it's scripted for that Liverpool match.
After John, please.
It's that Liverpool. No, it's that Liverpool.
These scripts, man.
It's that Liverpool City game where I think will be the decider.
When do we play him? April, is it?
I think it's April. Yeah.
April.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne will probably be fit by then.
You've got to think how far they'll be along the Champions League rounds as well. So
yeah, exactly.
And they've got to go away. Haven't they got to go away for the World Championship?
Championship? So they'll have some games in hand.
So there you go. And they're not good at chasing. And certainly they're not good at chasing when we get ahead by 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Let's just see.
Yeah, they can chase, man, Avi, man. Come on.
But just a question for you before we wrap up.
Every time they chase us down.
Just before we wrap up.
Here we go. Go on.
Are we getting top 4?
What?
Are we getting top 4?
Ask Darwin Núñez.
We know on Darwin Núñez, whenever he misses a chance, whether it was, I don't know, every game more or less, isn't it? And the cop goes,
next game.
Yeah, the cop, sort of goes into Darwin Núñez chant. When he missed that last one, it was a very, very subdued Darwin Núñez chant. So I think even the
I
coach.
love this celebration, though. By the way, he puts that ball in for Simicast, or he puts it back in the
Yes,
box.
yes,
They all go towards Trent. That tabla goes to Klopp.
yeah.
He goes to Klopp, and
Szoboszlai.
Klopp's giving him and
Yeah,
Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
100%.
bro, because he realized, bro, if I
He was
didn't-
asking for
put it
Mafi.
Put it this way, exactly. Put it this way: if we did not win today, Twitter and everywhere would be asking for his. We will be calling
And
for
he
his
needs
head.
to chop the
And
locks
fair
off as well.
play.
Chop the locks off as well.
I was surprised.
I don't
to
know
see
what that
him
hairstyle was
today, I'll be
like.
honest.
Yeah, you know, if you're gonna have braids, then you need to make sure you get a brace.
Let him donate some hair to Gina. Let him donate his hair to Gina.
No, by the way, his hair is real, unlike our visit is fake.
Oh, is that it, boys? 1 hour 25 minutes.
Man
I
of the
think we've
match.
scored-
Is there any man of the match? Has
I
everyone?
think you have to give it to Trent.
Alexander Arnold, man. There's only one scouser in the
You
team
have to give it.
today.
It's the Adidas boots. I'm telling you, it's the Gerrard in him. I'm telling you, it's coming up.
It's the Gerrard. It's the Gerrard. Okay, guys, that's the wrap. Thank you very much for watching, taking part as ever. When are we back? When are we back?
One a week, shows, boys. 1 a week. 1 a week.
Gina, are we going to see you on camera in Pakistan?
Yeah, 100%. I'm taking my laptop, so
Okay.
inshallah you will.
Have you
Tuesday.
got Wi-Fi in the pin?
We got a game on Tuesday. We got a game on
No,
Wednesday.
have you got Wi-Fi in the pin or not?
Yeah, of course we got
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, man.
Oh, look, yeah, we're playing on Wednesday, so you know.
Tuesday.
Let's do on Wednesday. I'm going to do Wednesday.
Are you in the UK on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I'm going on Friday.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, but you're not doing it. You're going to go to the game.
Well, you can do it. You can host for a second time. Oh,
Avi
here
can
we
host Avi's turn now this time. Yeah, Vicky on. Vicky, you're on. Vicky, if you're watching, you're on Wednesday.
I'll get a special guest on. I'm going to invite him to the show. I'll get a special guest on.
All right, okay. Anyway, I'll
Here
just
we
close
go.
the show now. Yeah,
Here
yeah,
we
man.
go.
He's only 1-1 right now.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. The festive period is approaching, and this title race is getting very spicy as well. We're not going to go away, and you better not. And most certainly, Liverpool are going nowhere. Take care and good night. Bye bye.